Darius Robinson is my 28th ranked player and 4th ranked edge rusher in the 2024 draft class. He's a player that really blurs the line between edge rusher, defensive end, defensive lineman. He played 4 years at Missouri as a defensive tackle and then switched over to edge rusher in his 5th year and really had a breakout season. 42 pressures and 9 sacks in 2023 after having 30 and 5 in his first 4 years. That's clearly the position he's at his best, although he still is somewhat of a tweener, and he's a good example of how doing these grades for all 32 teams can be kind of difficult. I have an early 2nd round grade on him because I don't think he fits every scheme, but there are specific teams that I could see having a 1st round grade. As someone with limited cooking skills, I've always struggled to find healthy meals that taste good and don't take a long time to prepare, but Factor helps me avoid takeout and ordering in with delicious and nutritious, no-nonsense food that's ready quickly. Their meals come pre-prepared, ready to eat in 2 minutes, which is perfect for busy lifestyles. And if you want to try this out, head to factor75.com or click the link below and use code ATOZFilm50 and get 50% off your first Factor box and free wellness shots for life. 2 free wellness shots from 3 available flavors for every order while you're an active subscriber. So Darius Robinson has the dream build for a defensive end. At the combine, he measured in at just over 6'1", 285 pounds, 34.5-inch arms, almost 11-inch hands. For edge rushers, that hand size is in the 96th percentile. He didn't have great testing for an edge rusher, 7th percentile 10-yard split, 8th percentile 40-yard dash. He did 111 in the broad jump, so he doesn't really have that explosiveness that you want for a wide 9 edge rusher. I think he's definitely a player you want with your hand in the ground, and if we run his testing as a defensive tackle, you can see he has elite numbers for an interior player. Like I said, he's a converted defensive tackle with only 1 year of experience playing on the edge. A lot of the skills, specifically with pass rushing, that come on the outside, he really only has 1 year of working those, and his technical refinement as a pass rusher at this point is very impressive. He has one of the best swim moves in this class. A lot of times when pass rushers use a swim move, it'll be a club swim, so you're striking one shoulder and then swimming over the top. He uses more of a rip swim where he's actually latching onto that shoulder with his outside hand, and then he's pulling through and physically preventing the blocker from recovering. His bull rush technique is outstanding. He's got the physical traits for it, size, length, but he does a great job for someone of his size of always getting lower than the blocker. The flexibility at 6'5" to bend and get as low as he does is really impressive. He's got heavy hands when he strikes the blocker's pads. He's able to really get that full arm extension and lock his elbows and create knockback after his initial punch, and then relentless leg drive to push the blocker into the pocket. He's able to counter inside with a club swim, which is going to be essential for him if he's playing out on the edge. And then throughout his tape, especially as the year progressed, you really saw him start to diversify his pass rushing moveset. He had multiple wins with a double swipe, cross chop, forklift. The bowl game against Ohio State is a great one to check out to really see how he's added to his bag over the course of the season. He had clean wins in that game with a cross chop, swipe, forklift. He had a cross chop sack against Florida. The pull-through swim is definitely his go-to move, and it felt like, especially early in the season, he was kind of over-reliant on that. But getting through all of his tape, I actually feel like he has a bunch of different ways to get to the quarterback. Now, he still needs some development as a pass rusher. You can tell that he's still in the mid to early stages of putting everything together. He suffers from the common issue that a lot of pass rushers face, which is what to do after the first move fails. I thought early strikes and jump sets really disrupted his pass rushing tempo. If you can slow that initial burst off the line of scrimmage, there's a second of delay before he figures out what to do. The average time to throw is 2.5 seconds, so if you try a bull rush and they drop their anchor, you've got to immediately transition into that secondary rush effort, and with Darius Robinson, there's still a little bit of delay switching to that second move. There were also times that tackles were able to bait with their outside hand and cause him to miss on a cross chop or a swipe. I think something that would really help Darius Robinson is to develop an underhook move, which is where you kind of fake the cross chop, and then out of that motion, you hook underneath the inside shoulder and counter in through the B gap. But he's kind of graduated from stage 1 of pass rushing, which is having some moves that he knows how to execute at a high level. The second stage is just stringing it all together into a coordinated pass rushing plan. I wish he would have run a 3-cone. Hopefully we get to see that at his pro day. There's some flashes on tape of him actually having the flexibility to win around the corner. He's able to get low, bend the ankles, turn the edge at a tight angle, but I feel like the overall package package of speed, explosiveness, and bend is probably going to limit his effectiveness as a speed rusher in the NFL. I just don't think NFL tackles are really going to be worried about getting beat around the edge by Darius Robinson unless he's winning with his hands. As a run defender, he is an absolute unit at the point of attack. You can tell that he used to play defensive tackle. He shoots his hands into the pads, controls the interaction from initial contact, really consistent inside hand placement and low pad level defending the run. He does a great job creating lift and raising the blocker's pad level, and then he can lock, peek, and shed and disengage and make plays in the backfield. You'll see him win control on initial contact and then just steer the block for the entire play. It's like he's going up against a tackling dummy. He's got the play strength and contact balance to blow up pullers, and he can actually set his anchor unlike most edge rushers nowadays. I think he has limited lateral range, especially against outside runs. There's a couple examples of him breaking down an open space versus a read option, but he's not someone that's going to slide and cover for 5 to 7 yards. And then he had a 19.4% missed tackle rate in 2023. I think a lot of that's due to kind of a stationary tackling platform. When he breaks down to tackle, if you run through his range of impact, he can wrap up and be a secure tackler, but he's not going to be able to gear back up and move his feet to stick with a shifty ball carrier. Thanks for watching. If you enjoy the video, make sure to like and subscribe. Also, let me know in the comments any NFL draft prospects that you'd like me to cover. And if you want to see my full draft board as an interactive filterable table, I've got that up at A to Z sports.com. The link to that is in the description.